yeah. She said, yeah, 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 yeah. Hello, everybody. Mike Camarada with Learning God Ministries. I got my, I guess what we call the John Lennon specs. I got my guitar. I'm rocking around the clock. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4. Yeah, all right. That's what we're doing. Let me put this guitar down and tell you what the message is this week. I got to change my glasses too. Let's talk music. Many of you that know me know that I am a musician and I have been playing, writing, singing songs for the past 45 years almost. I play guitar, bass, drums, piano. I love music. What does that mean? Well, what is music? It's the universal language that everyone around the world can understand without having to translate, unless you really want to know what the lyrics are saying. Everybody feels it. Well, not everybody feels it the same way, but you know where I'm going. Okay, so let's look at different types of music and what makes them that type of music. And then we'll see how God fits into all this. All right, we go to the drawing board again. And what do we have here on the drawing board? Let's see. First of all, I wrote down a few types of styles of music styles. And you'll notice that this is totally not the full list of what musical styles are. It's almost endless, but I only wrote down a couple that I'm going to talk about. All right. Off the bat, I think of rock. Rock music. You hear the guitar, you hear the drums, people shaking their heads. Yeah, yeah. All right. That's rock music. Then you got hip hop. You got the rapping. You got a good bass line. You got the groove going on. Yeah, I'm hipping. I'm hopping. Country music. Might have a slide guitar. Banjo going on. There might be a little bit of bluegrass even. Country music, pretty much that's the style. You feel it. You know it's country music. You get some line dancing going on. Jazz. Okay. I'm doing very, very bad sounds with my mouth. You might have a trumpet blaring around, a little Miles Davis, a little smooth guitar. All right, then we got classical music. You got the strings. Dun, 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 dun. Little timpani. Bum, 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 bum. Christian, you might hear a little bit of organ. Oh, a little choir in the background. Oh, oh. That's Christian. Blues. You got the 3-chord progression on the guitar. What does that mean? The musicians know what that is. You got that feel. And it's a little bluesy. Then we have disco. Steady beat. You can think of Donna Summer. You got the horns. Beat the clock. Gotta beat the clock. Anyway, those are styles of music. Now, I hope you enjoyed that entire demonstration of what music is. But let's talk about God and music. First of all, there is one category of music on here that doesn't rely on these instruments. In fact, it relies on all of these instruments. But what sets it apart from all the other musical styles? Rock, you know you're going to have these guitar and drums and so on down the line, but the music for God, which we'll call Christian music, it's been around for a very long time. Now, I know when you think of Christian music, you think you're hearing that organ. You go into the church, you got the organ playing, you got that choir on the stage. and they're belting out that tune and they're singing it to God. What is so different? Does Christian music just have to be organ and choir? No. No organ? No choir? What makes Christian music or songs for God a song for God? There's only one thing that does that. Because Christian music can have guitar, it can have drums, the rapping, the slide guitar, the banjo, the trumpet, the strings, the 3-chord blues, the steady beat, the horns. Christian music can and does have all of that. What is the only thing that makes it Christian music? I'll write it down here. Lyrics. The lyrics. You might hear a song that has some wild guitar at the beginning, some great bass line, no words yet. And then the words kick in, and then you recognize it as being a Christian song because of what the lyrics are telling you. You know, if you go to church and you go to a sermon that has music in it, basically all the music there is singing to God. But it's not the style of music, because there could be a country Christian, a rock Christian. All these can go right into this Christian category, only because of the lyrics. So when you go into the church and you might hear these guitars, it's a Christian song, because these lyrics are going to lead into the worship service. That's another thing I want to talk about. So you might hear an organ, you might hear a choir. That's all great, but it doesn't mean that it's a Christian song. Because if you heard an organ and a choir and they start singing about the devil, it's not a Christian song. It's a song about the devil. So worship. Lyrics are about worship. We are about worship when we go to a church. When we're there and we're being entertained by the music and it's getting us going and we're feeling it, however we want that congregation to feel, or whatever type of church it is. They might have a rock music church or that organ music church or a country bluegrass church. Whatever it is, if you're late for church, people might say, oh, you missed the worship part of the service. Which means a lot of people think that the worship part of the service was the music. Because usually the churches begin with the music at the beginning. Or maybe throughout, but mostly at the beginning they get you going. It's like the warm-up act before the pastor, the minister, priest, or whatever it is comes on to speak. You missed the worship service, the part of it. No, I didn't. Because now we're ready to worship God. So a lot of people think that the music is the worship part. That's worshiping. And then when we sit and we hear the message, why? That's not worship? No. We worship through the entire church service. In fact, I hope you worship every day of the week, all year long. Doesn't have to be just on Sundays. I know I was bad on Saturday. I really need to go to church on Sunday so I could worship. Then Monday, I'll be okay. Tuesday, all right. Wednesday, it's starting to go downhill a little bit. By the time Saturday rolls around, you can't wait to get to church to sing those songs for God and worship and sing. Worship is all the time. If you're doing it for God, and I say at the end of every message, whatever you do it with God. If you're doing it with God, you're worshiping. That's worship. So I have on Spotify, I have Learning God Ministries Christian music. I listen to it all the time. I always update it. It just puts me in a great mood Why? Because of the music? No, there's a lot of different styles of music on there. But all the lyrics worship God, Jesus. Just living a great life peacefully through Him. That's what the Learning God Ministries Spotify music channel is about. Now, am I promoting it? No. I don't care if I don't make any money on it. I just do it because I do it for God. I put songs together for people, not my own. I put the songs together, let people around the world just tune to one channel and listen. You might have a Christian radio station in your area. But it's a good way to keep the week flowing with music that means something. It's not hollow and shallow. It actually means something. Now listen. Does this mean you can't listen to other types of music? Because now that I'm a Christian, I can't listen to anything but Christian music? No. I could listen to whatever I want to listen to. I love the Beatles. I still listen to the Beatles. That's sacrilege. How could you listen to that devil-making stuff? Listen. I like it. As long as I'm not listening to lyrics that are worshiping the devil, as long as these lyrics don't take me away from God, then I'm doing okay. Now, if I want to listen to the Beatles sing "I Want to Hold Your Hand," it's not taking me away from God. I just want to listen to it. And it's not against Him. It's okay. Don't worry. So this means I have to give up the music that I like to listen to? Well, it depends what the lyrics are saying in the music that you're listening to. Make sense? I hope it does. All right, so that's it with my musical journey through the musical styles of the world and yada, yada, yada. And I'm going to go back to playing my guitar and wearing my John Lennon little glasses. All right, that's it. My Camarado Learning God Ministries. Whatever you do, don't forget to do it with God. Yeah, yeah, yeah.